Okay, awesome. So thank you everyone for joining. My name is Mags. I'm the operations manager for Birmingham Black Business Show and UK Black Business Show. So we have a host of team members that are with us today that will be essentially talking through their different departments and just making sure you understand what is accessible to you and what is entailed in setting up your stand, taking part in the show, marketing, and also electrics, graphics, and all the extras. So just before we start, I will give everyone a chance to introduce themselves so you know who you'll be working with and also what they do. So we can let's start with Abby.
Hi everyone, I'm Abby. I'm the marketing manager, so I am your kind of go-to for everything marketing orientated. So anything social media, anything artwork wise. Yeah, I'm your lady.
Awesome. And then we can do white space team.
Hello, my name's Luke. I work for Whitespace XPO. So we'll be the core services contractor on the show. So we'll be providing carpet, shell scheme structure, electrics, graphics. And I'm here joined with Nicole, who's head of customer experience, and also Kevin as well, who's our operations and electrical manager.
Yeah, so anything electrical queries, technical, just send me an email and I'll help you out. We'll try to.
Awesome. And then we also have Ella on the call.
Hi everyone, I'm Ella. So I work with Mags on the operations team and I basically help with all your exhibitor queries, anything logistical to do with the event.
Perfect. And like I said, I'm Meg, so I'm the operations manager for the show. So I deal with everything logistics related, and also I work closely with Ella regarding exhibitors. So yeah, I think that's everyone. So what we'll do is we'll start with the exhibitor hub, which Ella's going to talk us through. Apologies, I forgot to mention that my camera isn't working. That's why you can't see my face, but I'm sure I'll meet you all on the day. So yeah, Ellie, you can take it away.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, I'm going to run you through the LiveBuzz Exhibitor Hub that you should all have access to now, and basically step by step what is included on that hub and what you need to do. So when you log in, you'll see this page. This is the home page. It has a little introduction to the show and then the different tabs that you need to basically go through and complete the different tasks. So the first tab would be company registration. So when you click on that tab, it takes you through to another site where you basically click the start button and then you can complete your company registration, which will go onto the website and the show guide, etc. So please make sure you complete that quite soon so we can get you promoting your stand. And then the next tab is exhibitor badges. So if you are a standard exhibitor, you'll get 3 exhibitor badges included in your package. If you are a sponsor, you'll have 10. So on here, you just need to register all of the staff that will be attending the show on the day and all of their details, and then you'll be emailed their exhibitor badge, or you can collect that on the build-up day from around 2 p.m. And then the next page is the exhibitor manual. So this is one of the most important parts really, because it has all of the information that you need for the show. So all the show timings, when you can access, all the forms that you need to complete, all the health and safety information, general information about the venue, directions, parking, and then all of your supplier information as well. So the contact details for Whitespace and any other suppliers that are involved in the event too. If you have any questions about the manual, please just email me and I can help you with that. And then the next page is the set up your stand. So this is just a direct page where you can go to click through all the order forms and order your stand extras. So electrics, carpet, lighting, everything like that. If you click this tab, it takes you directly to those forms. And then the next page is your checklist and deadlines. So if you download this sheet, it basically gives you a run through of everything you need to complete. So like a summary. And you can go through it and see what you need to complete by when. And yeah, that's pretty much that one. And then the next page is your free guest passes. So these are your invited guests. So you get, again, if you're a standard exhibitor, you get 5 of these. And if you are a sponsor, I think you get 20. And you can just register everyone on here and then send them the link, and then they can register for their visitor badge. And then this is the marketing section, which I'm going to pass on to Abby because this is her expertise.
Hi, yeah. So basically, this is your marketing toolkit. It's where you can find everything and anything to use to promote your presence at the show. So the first one there's like an exhibitor sharing kit where we've got event summaries, example social media posts, logo links, everything, example emails, things like that. The next one is the marketing masterclass PDF, which at the end of this session, I'm going to run you through that very quickly myself. Your personalized graphic, that is going to be sent to you via my colleague Jordan. It's a Glean-in sharing tool link. So it's basically personalized to each individual exhibitor, and it populates with your logo. So you should have received that already. If you haven't, you will do so in the next couple of days. But yeah, I'll talk you through as well at the end of this session how to use that tool. Email footers, web banners, posters and flyers, that's all quite self-explanatory. But yeah, this is where you come to get all your marketing toolkit stuff. I'll hand back to Ella now.
Thank you. So the next page is your smart scan. So basically you can order your smart scan license. It's just one sum of £175. And that is basically the app where you can scan people's badges and get all of their data, all their contact information post-event. It's a really good resource to have. And as I said, you only need to order just the one license, and then your whole team can use that app on show day. And then the next page is your leads. So basically during the day, once you've started scanning the badges, you can download a spreadsheet and you'll have all of the data. You can then log in post-show and download a full list and start sending out comms to all of your leads that you've got throughout the event. And that's it.
Okay, so I think that's over to us now. Thanks a lot. So sort of this is from Whitespace XPO, so the contractor side. It's a bit of an agenda of what we're going to be talking about. So just who we are and sort of what services that we'll be providing for the show. Sort of how to order our services, whether that be electrics or graphics or, you know, changing your carpet. And then we've got a little bit of a checklist to go through just to make sure everything's covered with your space setup. So we are the core services contractor for the show. So that means that we'll be providing the shell scheme structures for anyone who has a shell scheme stand. We do also offer space only build services as well. If anyone's a space only stand or and you know they need their stand built. We provide electrics as well, electrics and lighting for your space. Graphics, furniture, flooring, and sort of any other extras as well. So included within a shell scheme stand, we've got the shell scheme walling, which we've got a spec for. I believe that's in the exhibitor manual, but if you've got any questions related to that, feel free to reach out to us. You also get a name board as well. There is a form to complete to input your details. And then also you get carpet as well included within the stand, which will be the color slate. So I'm going to pass over to Nicole because she's going to run you through sort of how to order all the various services that we offer.
So if you want to order any graphics, furniture and any extra bits with us, you'll find all the links in the manual that Ella showed us earlier on in this presentation. Through them links, you will see packages for furniture, but if there is anything that you want outside of the packages, you can just drop us an email and we can send you the extended brochure. I will touch base on all the graphics and show you some options of graphic options that we've got a little bit later on. Same with electrics. We've got the forms on there with like a 500-watt socket, a 1 kilowatt socket. But if you do need something outside of this, you just drop myself or Kevin an email, and then we'll be able to quote it up for you and get you a link sent over so that you can pay for the electrics that you require for your stand. And now this will be Kevin that will just touch on electrics.
Hiya. So you'll find there's 2 sockets on the order form, a 500-watt and a 1 kilowatt. The 500-watt is for general use, so people tend to use it for their laptops, phone chargers, and you are allowed to use a 4-way extension in this, as long as you keep within the 500 watts. If you need a bit more power, there's also 1 kilowatt. Again, that's twice the load as the 500-watt. And then we do also offer 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt, but these are for single appliances like a kettle. If you need any mains, again, just drop us an email, and then I can advise on pricing and how we go about ordering. The next page we can see here we've got an example of a rating plate. So if you're unsure of what socket you need to order, most appliances will have a rating plate fixed to them, similar to what you can see on your screen there. And if you ever look, there's a power consumption 850 to 1000 watts. So therefore, you know, I need a 1 kilowatt to run this. Please make sure that you do order the correct size socket for your appliance. Otherwise, we do tend to have problems with regards to fuse blowing on site. And that is the reason why a fuse will tend to blow on site. It's the most common reason. It's overload on the sockets, and that means you're going to take out all your neighbours as well, because you will be sharing a main that's incoming. Again, it's easily rectified, but it will cause you an inconvenience and your neighbours, and it can be more expensive on site to uprate, because venue surcharges means you're going to pay more rather than getting in an early booking price that we offer at the moment.
So just touching on what Kevin mentioned about the early booking price, that expires on the 14th of May, which is Tuesday. So the early booking price is across everything. That's furniture, electrics, graphics, and any extras. So if you do want to order, I would get your orders in before the 14th of May, just so that you can get that 20% off your stand orders. After that, the options are still there for you to purchase, but they'll obviously be at the standard rate. They won't have the discount on them. The deadline to get your name boards in is also for the 14th of May. So just make sure to follow that link to get that sent in to us, so we know what you want printed on your name board. So we've got 2 graphic options. You can have the Foamex panels, which is what you can currently see on your screen, which are £168 plus VAT per panel. So these are our non-seamless look, and as you can see, you've got the metal beams in between each graphic. And then onto the next one, which is our seamless option, which is fabric. This is reusable seamless, and that way you've got that whole seamless look across your whole stand. You don't have any breaks in between your graphics. So it's good if you've got any text or images that you don't want broken up by the metal beams in between. And this is £246 plus VAT per linear meter. And then these are our furniture package options that you'll see on the forms when you go on to order. With the furniture, as mentioned earlier, if you need an extended brochure, let me know and I can get that sent over to you. And with the package A, as you don't know if you can see in the image, but you can see like a little lockable counter that is also brandable. So if you do wish to also get that branded, that you can get a Foamex panel, which is £95 plus VAT for the front of the graphic to be artwork with your brand. And then if you've got any questions, please take note of these 2 email addresses. So the ukbb@whitespaceexpo.com comes directly to myself, and I'll be happy to assist with any questions. And if you've got any electrical questions, feel free to email both myself and Kevin, and we'll be happy to jump in and give you a quote on anything you need or any advice.
Thanks.
Thank you. So I'll just be talking you all through what to expect on the build-up day and the show day. So the build-up day will be on the 14th of June, and from 7 till 1 o'clock, we'll have our space-only exhibitors and our contractors in the halls building up your stands and your placing your spaces for you. If you are a space-only contractor, during this time, you are required to wear your high vis, as I'm sure you all know, and make sure you have suitable footwear, so closed-toe shoes. We know that it's always quite sunny during that June time, but just make sure that you're wearing some hard-toe shoes. And then access to the shell scheme exhibitors is from 1 o'clock. So prior to arriving on site, you should have completed your CDM registration beforehand. That link is in the manual. If you have any issues with finding this, please let us know and we'll direct you to it. So once you come on site, just make sure you show your screenshot to security at either the loading bay doors or the main hall doors at the entrance. And once you've shown that, you'll receive a wristband from security, and you'll be able to collect your badges from registration as well. And then from that point onwards, you're basically free to set up your stand. So that will look like all your collateral that you've brought over, whether that's your pull-up banners, your furniture, all of those things, just you're free to start setting up. Something to note is if you have ordered electrics for your stand, the white space service team will be there. There will be a service desk at the back, so you can go and speak to them if you have any issues, questions. They'll be there on hand to help you, so that's all good. And in general, we will be around on site to help. So myself, some of the other team members will be on site. So if there's anything that you need, if you have any questions, please just feel free to reach out to us and we'll be there to assist. Something to note is that all stands need to be set up by 6 o'clock on the 14th of June. So, you've got a time frame of 1 to 6 to just make sure that you're all set up. So just to make sure, your top 3 things to keep in mind for the build-up day is that you've completed your CDM registration beforehand, you're wearing sensible shoes for the day, and also you bring along all your event collateral. If you're not ordering any furniture, just make sure you bring, and you're bringing furniture, just make sure you bring that along with you. And then on the show day, the doors will open for exhibitors from 8 o'clock. So between 8 and about 8:45, that's your prep time to do your final tweaks. Just make sure your stands are how you want them to look. And the organizer's office will be open from 8 o'clock as well. So again, if there are any questions that you have for us or you need to speak to anyone on the team, we'll be there to help you. The show doors will open from 9 o'clock. All stands must be ready by this time. We can't have any setting up during this time, so just make sure you give yourself enough time to get everything in place. Something to also be mindful about on the show days that your stands must be manned at all times. So just kind of think strategically about how you want to use your exhibitor passes. There might be some things in some of the theatres that you want to see, so you can work with your team to kind of build a bit of a schedule for yourselves. Also give yourself a chance to walk around the show floor as well. So something to bear in mind, your stand must be manned at all times. And then finally, the show closes at 6 o'clock. Something to bear in mind again is that stands cannot be broken down before that. So please be aware that you're not able to break down your stands or leave the halls before that time frame. And just a few frequently asked questions that we get around setting up your stand. So are electrics included in my package? So electrics aren't included in your package, but as the white space team have gone through all the available options, if you do want electrics, please reach out to them or place your order via the form linked in the manual. Will furniture be provided? Again, furniture isn't provided. However, the white space team are there to help you. If you are looking to bring your own furniture, this can be done on the 14th of June. Can you stick things on the wall? So you can stick things on the wall, but please bear in mind that the materials that are used to stick items should not leave any permanent damage. So consider using double-sided tape or blue tack, just anything that is easily I was going to say peel-offable. I don't believe that that's a word, but I'm sure you understand what I mean. How many exhibitor passes do I have? So each exhibitor has 3 passes allocated to them. So as I mentioned, be strategic about how you allocate these. Make sure you get people that are on your stand to be, quite vibrant and ready to approach people if necessary, or just have all the relevant information about your products and services. If you are the lead of the business, then you do decide to have a walk around on the show floor. So I've got a note to mention parking here. It's actually not on here, but we do have parking passes available for each exhibitor. So essentially, if you do require parking, we have in our company registration form a section that you can tick off to let us know that you do need parking. Each exhibitor is we've got 2 passes available for each exhibitor, and that can be collected at the registration desk on Friday. Please note that the parking passes are exclusively for the Saturday show day. And then, is there internet available in the venue? Yes, there is Wi-Fi available throughout the halls. However, it is an unsupported network. So something to bear in mind is that it's not strong or secure enough to run a whole software system, essentially. So if you're just taking payments or using it as a main source for whatever activity you're running on your stand, we would recommend using or looking at the internet services provided by the NEC, which can also be found in the order forms. And then lastly, can I have my products in the Gold Lounge? So yes, we are still accepting products for the Gold Lounge. If you have anything that you want to submit, please email this email just the submissions at ukblackbusinessshow.co.uk, and someone from the team will be in touch with you. And I'll hand over to Abby now.
Great, thanks guys. Right, I'm going to quickly share a different screen with everyone. So just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, where is it? Here we go. Okay, hopefully everyone can see my screen here. So this is a little document that we put together last year just to kind of walk everyone through some top tips that us as event organizers have put together to try and make sure that you can, maximize your participation at the event, and really get the most out of it. Make sure that you're collecting as many leads as possible, both in the run up to the show and also during the show and after. So prepping for success. So the first point on this is your company profile. So visibility, branding, credibility. So this is something that we make sure that all of our exhibitors fill out. So you have to fill out your booth details via the link that is linked both in the manual and the exhibitor hub that Ella spoke about earlier. That will just give us the opportunity to make sure when we push out social media content about your stand, that it's correct, that we're using the right bio about your business, the right logos, all things like that, the right handles for social media. So it's definitely something that everyone should have at the top of their priority list to do if you haven't done already. I know a lot of you have though, so that's good. Make use of your free invites. So these are called the guest passes in your exhibitor manual and your exhibitor hub. Each exhibitor gets around 5. I think if you're a sponsor, you get slightly more. But essentially, it gives you 5 free tickets to hand out to any of your friends, family, clients, industry people that you might know. As a side note to this as well, we also have a competition running this year. So for all of the SME businesses, so if you are a Black-owned business, everyone who has allocated all 5 of their free tickets will be entered into a prize draw to win a free stand next year. So it's definitely worth doing. Definitely get on top of that. As Ella mentioned, you can do this from within the hub, so you can literally send out the invites directly from the hub, so you can see who your invites have gone to and who's taken them up, or you can pull the link and send it via an email independently. So it's however you want to manage that. Start spreading the news, a very cheesy title of me to have written that. But effectively, we want you to be promoting your presence at the show. So the more that your community knows about it, the more that you might get people visiting you at the show. Customers that might be like, oh, let me make sure I stop by their stand to see what products they've got on show, what any offers that they've got. We always find here that email is by far the most effective channel of communication to your market. Within the marketing toolkit in the hub, as I mentioned earlier, we've got seamless templates that you can use. There's event descriptions if you want to personalize it a little bit. We do recommend sending 3 reminders ahead of the show. About a month out should work, between a month out and the week of the show as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we would recommend there. Social media. So as I mentioned earlier, you'll get your personalized sharing tool link, and that opens, and you're sort of able to see directly how your post will look on each platform. Depending on each platform, there's a slightly different protocol for each. So for example, because Instagram isn't directly linked, it doesn't directly link to anything really, in terms of the sharing tools. So you just easily copy the post, download the image, and then you can open Instagram and use it directly there. But all the other ones are linked seamlessly, so that's pretty good. This is where we also pull your logo. So from that company profile that I spoke about earlier, we'll use your logo in that to populate your personalized link as well. So that's good. These are just our show handles, just so you know them. It's UKBBShow on these 3, and then UKBBShow with the slash for LinkedIn. And the hashtag is BIRMBBShow. So hopefully, if everyone's posting a lot on site on the day, we'll always do a repost if we can find it. So that's good. These are just kind of the next kind of section I wanted to run through is just a little bit about the stand. So obviously, as event organizers, we've seen some phenomenal stands in the past. We know what works. We know what gets footfall to your stand directly. Our biggest piece of advice is to find a hook. So there's 100 other stands, so you need to find a hook that will grab everyone's attention. So create a little bit of excitement ahead of the show. Make sure that your booth is on their must list of attend. This kind of stuff, what we'd love to see is a little social post about what you'll be showcasing at the show. Tag us and we'll repost the story to our network. So that's a really good way to get involved as well. Planning your booth. So as I mentioned, we're looking at finding a hook, eye-catching things. So eye-catching graphics, as the Whitespace team have rightly said, using graphics on your backdrop is a really good way of kind of attracting attention, giving people some visual aids to be able to understand what you do, how you do it. But then similarly, banners, backdrops, posters, signage, things that have a clear messaging around what you're showcasing is always really good. Interactive elements, so technology such as augmented reality or virtual reality, create like a little immersive experience. Similarly, I mean, we ourselves were at an event a few weeks ago, and we hired a giant iPad that had a spinning wheel on it and had like an engaging competition, which worked really, really well. Layout, make sure you've got seating. I think that's quite a no-brainer, really. Make sure your staff kind of are friendly, approachable, knowledgeable about your products. Again, that's quite a standard one. You can consider using music, scents even, or something tactile that aligns with your brand. Again, similar to what I just mentioned, activities on your booth are really good. We're all grown-ups, but we love a game, we love a competition, we love a freebie. So those things always work really, really well. There's a hot tip at the bottom here. Again, I'll say it. let us know what your plans are. We're always looking for exciting things happening on the stands. So the best way to do that is to just put it out on social media, but make sure we're tagged and we will find it, repost it, make sure our audience know exactly what they're going to find when they get to your stand. Again, I think we spoke about this in the hub. Definitely recommend getting a smart scanner. It's the best way to obtain information about everyone who visits your stand. It's nice and quick. You don't have to spend time, writing down people's contact information on the day, or even, with business cards, like you don't have to then input that all into a spreadsheet and then upload it into your database. This is all seamless. Someone comes up to your stand, you just go, boom, hit the data, they're in the list, and you can begin your conversation. Also, once you get your smart scanner, you can have it's basically an app, so you can have an unlimited amount of downloads. So you just pay the one-time fee, and if you've got 5 people on your stand, all 5 people can have the app. And then you get your leads the next day. So it's all very good. 2 other things, just as a side note. So we do have our show guide. If you haven't got an advert included in your package, you can purchase one, depending on availability. If you want to do that, really get ahead of that now, because we're starting to put together the show guide as we speak. Samples. So if you've got a product that you want to showcase this year, we've got our VIP Gold Lounge and also a handful of influential attendees, influencers, social media influencers coming. And what we're planning to do is arrange a number of goodie bags for them. So if anyone wants to put their products in those goodie bags for the influencers or the Gold Lounge, yeah, please let us know, reach out. And yeah, we'll do our best to get that in for you. Oh, join our webinar. That's not relevant to now because we've done it. So that's basically everything from marketing. I'm gonna hand back to Mags.
Awesome, thank you, Abby. Loads in there. So we're really aware that we've given loads of information today, and there's probably a few questions. So I'm going to open up the floor for questions now. If you've got a question, please feel free to drop it in the Q&A chat and we'll read it out. I know that there's one question already, so I'll read that one out and answer it. And if in the meantime, if anyone else has got any, just drop them in. So someone's asked, if we cannot make it for build up on the 14th, can we still collect the exhibition part build up from 8 a.m? And the answer is yes, you can. What we would advise is that you get to the show, you get to the venue by 8 a.m. on that day, so you're ready to pick, so you're one of the first people in line to pick up your passes, because essentially everyone that wasn't able to attend the day before will be trying to do the same things. They collect their passes and get into the hall at the same time, and potentially that might mean that there's a long queue. So yeah, so just make sure you're there from 8 o'clock, and that gives you the best chance to have as much time as possible to be ready for show start at 9 a.m. Sorry, it may sound okay. So next question is, sorry, it may sound like a silly question. It's never a silly question. What is the shell scheme? So the shell scheme stand is what the majority of our SME exhibitors would have purchased. So if you've got package 1, 2, or between 1 and 2, you've most likely signed up for a shell scheme stand, and that's essentially a stand that has the panels and the it's basically like there's a built booth for you. I don't know if I feel like Luke, you're about to jump in. Yeah, you can go in.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, essentially it's like a modular system that allows you to have walling, and then also sort of a name board as well. So your company name or brand name above that. So it comes in various sizes depending on the space that you booked. So if it's a 3x3 space with sort of 2 open sides, you'd have 6 walls. But yeah, I think, like I said, if you've got any other sort of questions or you want further details on that, we can send over the shell spec for your space, and yeah, just reach out.
And you can add lighting to it as well.
Yeah, you can add lighting to it, electrics to it, graphics to it as well. So it's essentially a blank canvas of walling, which allows you to customize it in any way.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Luke. So the next question is, if we're not able to attend on the 14th to set up, are we able to set up on the 15th? Yes, you are. So again, just arrive by 8 o'clock and you have to be set up, we say by 8:45 at the latest, just to make sure everyone is ready for the doors to open at 9 a.m. So at 9 a.m. the show opens and essentially all the attendees, visitors are welcomed into the hall. So you just want to make sure you have everything done in preparation for that time. Can we get there earlier than 8 a.m. on the 15th? Unfortunately not. So exhibitors only have access from 8 a.m. Hence why I keep stressing, just make sure you're like first in the queue, because we don't have access prior to that time. Sorry, is there an after party scheduled following the show? Yes, there is. And there is a link in the manual to sign up for the after party. It's taken place at Lake Lounge, which is in Resorts World, not too far from the hall, from the venue where we're doing the exhibition. There will be a shuttle bus service running from the exhibition hall over to Lake Lounge, so you will receive more details about that in the next couple of days. Do exhibitor passes include tickets to the after party? Essentially, yes. So you still need to register for the after party via the link that I mentioned in the exhibitor hub. And once you register for that, you'll have access, but all the exhibitor passes are allowed to come. Everybody that holds an exhibitor badge is allowed to come to the after party. We just need you to be registered beforehand. So the next question, this has been an overflow of relevant information in such a short time. Can we have the recording of this webinar? Definitely, we'll be sending out a link for the webinar once it's complete. So look out for that in your inbox. No, you get any tables if, I'm trying to make sense of this question. No, you get any tables, and if maybe it was do you get any tables, and if not, how much are tables with white space? I'll pass that over to the white space team.
So no, they don't, they're not included in your package, but if you do want to order any, we have the standard packages on the portal. So we have the options of a small table, like a low table, coffee table with 2 chairs or 4 chairs. We have another package which is a table, 2 chairs or 4 chairs, a lockable cabinet, lit rack, a bin, a bin, and then you have another one which is a poser table and 2 stools. The prices vary, so feel free to email me with your preferred option, and I can send that over to you.
Thank you. And then the next one, is there a cost for putting something in the Gold Lounge goodie bags? No, there isn't a cost associated. So if you do have any products that you would like to put in the Gold Lounge, as mentioned, please do email the submissions at ukblackbusinessshow.co.uk email address, and we can pick it up from there. It's important for us to understand what you would like to submit to that Gold Lounge. So there may be a few questions that you need to answer, but there isn't a cost attached to it. Could we request for more than 3 exhibitor passes? People might switch places throughout the course of the day, so we might need more than 3 passes. Would this be possible? So we are quite strict on just giving out 3 exhibitor passes. If there are any special circumstances, do email us and let us know, but the standard allocation for exhibitors is just the 3 passes. Why doesn't the company info I already provide show when I log in a second or third time? I've gone back to have a look and it's not something they're requesting a new. So Jennifer, I've just read your question. If you can email me directly, mags at UK Black Business Show. To be fair, I think we spoke.
I can just answer that one real
I'll go
quick.
then.
It's only because the button in the Exhibitor Hub links to the form. So your answer will have been logged, but it doesn't necessarily show that because it doesn't cross off. So it's just linking to the direct form. The way to know if your company profile has been submitted correctly is to just check the exhibitor list. If you're listed and everything's correct in there, then you're fine. It normally takes around 3 working days since from when you've submitted it to it going live on the website. So if it's submitted, you should be fine.
Perfect, thank you. I was just about to do it. We'll pick it up offline. So thanks for stepping in there. In regards to guest passes, is there an opportunity to get more than 3? So is this I don't know if this is guest passes to either the after party or the or exhibitor passes themselves. For both, the answer is no. Like I said, we are quite strict on the allocation of 3 per exhibitor. So yeah. I think that table's question has been answered by the white space team already. So Corel, so just to clarify, the shell scheme is not part of the exhibitor package. So it is part of the exhibitor package. Yeah, it is part of the exhibitor package. I'm hoping that's answered your question. But again, Corel, we've spoken. So if you need any more information, just email me directly and we can set up a call. Sorry, exhibitor passes. Okay, yeah. So again, exhibitor passes 3 is the maximum that we do allocate to exhibitors. If not, I'm assuming it's just an empty space with no walls. So now I understand your question, Corel. So yes, you do get a shell scheme. You will have walls within your shell scheme, so not to worry about that. Regarding Smart Scan, this is my 3rd year, and last year after the London show, I received an email saying I could buy the entire list of attendees, exhibitors for £99. I was puzzled as I got this the day after the show. I emailed you guys, but it seemed legit, so please warn others of this scam. Thanks for flagging that, Jennifer. There shouldn't be any cost associated to receiving your list. I believe that's correct, Abby. Do you want to just confirm?
Yeah, so I think so. I've worked on a number of different exhibitions, and every year, any exhibition, any industry, this always happens. There's always a spam or scammer trying to get people to pay for the list of attendees. There is very rarely, and I would venture a guess to say never ever does an exhibition sell its list of attendees to anyone. So you should never pay for these because we'll never ask you to pay for them. So yeah, definitely well done for raising because it's worth knowing, but we'll never ask you to pay for the list. Anyone that you scan on your stand, that's all free. That all comes to you directly the day after, completely for free. Obviously, you have to pay for the scanner, but the data's free.
Thanks for clarifying, Abby. Could you send us a marketing crash guide that Abby presented? Yes, that is already linked in the exhibitor manual. So if you log into your exhibitor hub and go through the manual, you'll find a link to that document. I think it might be under like top tips or something like that. So yeah, it's already in there. Do you get to keep the furniture following the show, or is it just for one day at the show? Oh, go on, Luke.
So yeah, I think that's probably targeted us. So the furniture price that we have sort of in our wider brochure and what you can see on the portal, that will just be for rental use only. So we'll put that into your stand space for the show. You'll have use of it, and then we'll take that away at the end of the show.
Thanks, Luke. So next question, what is the Gold Lounge and what sort of products can you submit? So the Gold Lounge is essentially somewhat of an exclusive area for our VIP and Gold ticket holders, and also a space for our influencers to network. There are like some goodie bags that are collected within that space. So that's where your product, if submitted, will be showcased. We are able to accept near enough everything. So examples of contributions that we've had in the past have been, if you're in the hair and beauty industry, any of the sample size products that you may have as part of your offering, we can accept some of those, or full size products, completely up to you. And we've had exhibitors who may have like coloring books for children. There may be a couple that you can contribute to the Gold Lounge as well. It's near enough open to anything that can be given away for free. So once you get in touch with the teams at submissions, they will follow up with the relevant information. What time does the after party finish? As I'm thinking about accommodation for another day. So the after party finishes at 11 o'clock. You are more than free to leave at whatever time suits you best. So yeah, just come and party. How do you find your stand number? So your stand number is, well, essentially the process is you are you'll set the floor plan to pick where you want to go on the show floor. This email goes out once we've received either a deposit payment or some form of payment towards your stand. Someone from the team will contact you with the live floor plan, and then once you've viewed that floor plan, you can let me know your stand preference. If it is available, then we can allocate that stand to you. If not, we can offer you some other spaces, but we essentially give it to you once you've made, well, we essentially give you the opportunity to choose your stand number and where you want to be placed on the show floor once you've made a payment towards your stand. Could we put a flyer or brochure in the goodie bag? Will it have to be an actual product? So that flyers and brochures are subject to review, and it's dealt with on a case-by-case basis. So again, if you contact the submissions team, they'll be able to assist. What was the dimensions of the stalls? Do the exhibit stands come with ceiling? If so, how tall? White space team?
Yeah, so depending on your stand space, would depend on sort of the dimensions of the wall. So if you're sort of a 3x2 space, perhaps you'd have a 3-meter back wall and a 2-meter side wall. The sort of orientation of that depends on your location on the floor plan. In terms of how tall the walls are, they're 2.5 meters tall. It doesn't come with a ceiling as standard, but it comes with ceiling beams. Yeah, so there'll be almost a grid,
A support beam.
a support beam. Yeah, and there, of course, you'll have your name board as well.
Perfect. I'm just trying to find what was the dimensions. I think that's been answered. What's the submissions team email address for the goodie bag? So that is submissions@ukblackbusinessshow.co.uk. I'll type it in here for you as well. But we'll also link it into the follow-up email that we send once we, oh, it's definitely gone. We'll link it into the follow-up email with the recording of this, so you have it and it's accessible to you. And it looks like all of our questions are done. Thanks, Abby. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We hope that was an informative session for you. And we hope you're feeling a lot more confident. Oh, I've seen one more question. How do we get access to the Gold Lounge? Is it invite only? So the Gold Lounge is, just to clarify, it is for our gold ticket members only. So it's a ticket type / badge type that have access to that area. So yeah, so thank you very much for joining. Hope you found it informative. If you have any further questions, as mentioned, please do reach out to us at the various emails. I do appreciate that there are a few different email addresses, so we'll loop that all into one email for you, just so you have the relevant contact details, and then we'll respond accordingly. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you to all the guys on the call as well.
Thanks, everyone.
No worries.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.